What's up, everybody? So today the topic that we're going to tackle is what is Bitcoin? So are you a business owner or thinking about becoming a business owner and trying to figure out what this Bitcoin thing really is? And you've maybe seen a bunch of videos on YouTube and you're maybe more confused than you were when you started? Well, if that sounds like you and you feel like you want to get a handle on what Bitcoin is, stay tuned! So it's actually two things in one. It's both a digital currency and it's a payment network. Currency like dollars or gold. The second is it's also a payment network analogous to Visa or Western Union or PayPal. They're like a network for sending value. So Bitcoin is two things in one. It's both a digital currency and it's a payment network. But there are other things about it that are very interesting. Like I said, it's the world's first open source decentralized digital currency and payment network. So open source means that like Wikipedia or like Linux, or an open source really means that anybody can partake. It's not owned by any government or any bank or any institution. It's literally just code that exists on the internet. And then the second thing that I said was it's decentralized. So why is that important? What that means is that there's no central point of failure. But I'm gonna try to answer some of the other questions that I often get around Bitcoin. Like, how do Bitcoins, come into existence? What is Bitcoin mining? Bitcoin mining is essentially, so you know what mining is, right? What normal mining is? So it's essentially like, there's some gold, let's say in a mountain, we get an axe and a pick, we go dig into it, and we're like, okay, we're trying to figure out, we're trying to like get to the gold essentially, right? And we chip away the rocks and we find some gold. Great, that's gold mining. There's obviously a lot of scientificness that goes into it, but that's generally the idea. Well, Bitcoin mining, if we were to compare it to gold mining, is similar but different. It's similar in the sense that it's difficult, but the tools that are used and the difficulty that's posed are different. So instead of there being a mountain and gold being inside of it, it's actually a mathematical puzzle. And again, we can talk about it and I can do a whole video on kind of what that mathematical puzzle is and why it's so interesting, but it's essentially a mathematical puzzle instead of a mountain. Think of it like a Sudoku. Now, as you're kind of digging into this mathematical puzzle, you need, in a gold mine, you need axes and picks. In this case, instead of having axes and picks, you're gonna have something different. You're gonna have a supercomputer. Bitcoin is essentially a protocol. It's in the cloud. It's money over IP. So if voice over IP is VoIP, I would call this money over IP. There will only, are you ready for this? I need like a drum roll. If there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin in existence. I'm gonna say that again, ladies and gentlemen. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin. Bitcoin automates the functions of a modern central bank and makes them predictable and virtually immutable by programming them into code decentralized among thousands of network members, none of whom can alter the code without the consent of the rest. Bitcoin is the newest technology to serve the function of money, an invention leveraging the technological possibilities of the digital age to solve a problem that has persisted for all of humanity's existence: how to move economic value across time and space. In order to understand Bitcoin, one must first understand money. And to understand money, there is no alternative to the study of the function and history of money. What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a collection of concepts and technologies that form the basis of a digital money ecosystem. Units of currency called Bitcoin are used to store and transmit value among participants in the Bitcoin network. Bitcoin users communicate with each other using the Bitcoin protocol primarily via the internet, although other transport networks can also be used. The Bitcoin protocol stack, available as open source software, can be run on a wide range of computing devices, including laptops and smartphones, making the technology easily accessible. Users can transfer Bitcoin over the network to do just about anything that can be done with conventional currencies, including buying and selling goods, sending money to people or organizations, or extend credit. Bitcoin can be purchased, sold, and exchanged for other currencies at specialized currency exchanges. Bitcoin, in a sense, is the perfect form of money for the internet because it is fast, secure, and borderless. So, Bitcoin, you know it's a new form of money, a digital currency to be exact, but just how does it work? Sit yourself down comfortably, and I'll begin with the basics. The three most major aspects of Bitcoin: the origin, how it came to be, the technology, how it works behind the scenes, and the currency, using Bitcoin as money. Exploring each of these concepts will help you understand Bitcoin and find out whether and how it can help you. Don't worry, we'll stay top level for now. I just read you the first paragraph out of here. Are you curious to know about the recent court case that the Bitcoin community had against the Reserve Bank of India recently? I'm going to share a little bit. I started Uno Coin back in 2012, 2013 with Satvik and Harish and Abhi. It was India's first Bitcoin platform. I know that, you know, in other videos I've shared kind of the story behind it and how we all met and this and that, so I won't bore you with that. We'll keep moving. But one thing I've mentioned in previous videos is about this event that we did. It's called the Global Bitcoin Conference in Bangalore back in December 2013, where we launched Uno Coin. And one of the people, again, he shall remain unnamed, but one of the people that showed up at our event, at the Sheraton, by the way, this is like 400, 500 people, and one of the people that showed up was a gentleman from the RBI. I've never shared this story publicly, so here you go. This is like hot off the press 7 years later. So we're starting the event up, you know, suits on, we're ready, we're gonna present this, that, food's out, yummy food, ooh, yummy food. And then all of a sudden, I get a tap on my shoulder and someone's like, hey Sonny, someone from the RBI is here and they wanted to talk to you. You're like one of the organizers or something, right? I was like, yeah, I think so. I walk over there and I meet with this gentleman, and he says to me, he's like, are you one of the organizers? I was like, yes sir, like, thanks for coming, really appreciate it. And he says to me, look, if you or anyone mention that I'm here today, I'm gonna stand up and jet. I'm just gonna go. That's what he tells me. I'm like, sir, nice to meet you. I hope you enjoy the food. I don't know what to say, like when you say that. Nice to meet. A week after the event, okay? I remember I was in, my wife's from Colombia, like some of you may know, and so we'd finished the event, I'd literally flown, it was like December or something, so we were gonna go to Colombia to meet with family, and really nice, and all of a sudden I see on Twitter and on the internet that 30 people from I think it was the tax department that had come to kind of like ask questions at the Uno Coin office, and we had, I think, 3 or 4 employees at the time, so to have 30 people just show up, yeah, interesting to say the least. And I just remember this so clearly that I'd called Satvik and I said to him, Satvik, you know, this Uno Coin thing, this is like a hobby, right, for us. Like, let's just shut this thing down. Like, we don't need to be going through all this trouble of, you know, of dealing with like tax authorities and like whatever other regulators, etc., etc. And I'll never forget what Satvik said to me that day. I'll never forget it. And I'm glad I'm wearing sunglasses because then you'd be seeing me go all teary-eyed right now. But he says to me, he said, Sonny, you know, you're a foreigner, you're from Canada, you know, you would probably go somewhere else and do it. You'll probably join some company. In fact, at the time I was with another company. He said, you know, you'll figure it out. But he's like, if I give up on Bitcoin today, then my entire country loses out on Bitcoin. And he's like, I'm not gonna let that happen. Like, really? Okay, let's do this, buddy.